Hello, YouTubers. This is a new session where we continue our series in building OData Neo. I am joined here today by the guys. What up, guys? Can you hear me?
What's up?
All right. I'm assuming in good faith that everyone here has Visual Studio 2022 preview with .NET 7. Okay, okay. I can see the
I ain't coding.
dedication. I can see the level of commitment.
You know, you,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
there is a tactic in communication, right? In persuading people or delivering a
Okay.
narrative where one will
Okay.
glaze over the details, right?
Okay.
For those
Details.
who have
Okay.
not been in the Discord,
Uh-huh.
they may be unfamiliar with the saga of
Oh,
people that have been trying to install the preview bits and then having existing projects hosed as a
okay.
result.
Okay. All right. That's why. Okay. That's the reason. There is no .NET 7 because it broke our existing projects.
Oh, I
Let me
mean,
let me tell you
Paul
guys.
should be able to speak at depth to this.
Okay, Paul, tell me. Okay, Paul. Paul is in. Let's go.
What do you want me to say? I
Did you
installed the.
select English US after you installed?
Nobody uses that.
So it really didn't work. Like you installed .NET 7 and it broke existing capability. Is that what it is? Huh?
Well, what it seems to have done in my case is anything that uses Razor views. The Razor views now no longer compile for some reason, and I can't figure out why,
Oh
unless
my
I'm
lord.
using the preview version of Visual Studio only. So the regular non-preview version
It's not
doesn't
working anymore.
work, but the
Even if you
preview
didn't
one
upgrade the
does.
project to .NET 7.
Yeah, and I've touched nothing on the project. I literally just spun it up literally after installing the new VS stuff, and it's just gone bang on me, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So, but I loaded the same project in the preview version,
And it
and
worked.
everything works. So I'm like, what's gone on there? But the only thing I can think of is that what we refer to as .NET 7 effectively is currently, if you look at it, I think it's labeling them as .NET 6.0201 or something. So I'm not
200 or
quite.
201?
Yeah, so
Uh,
I wonder if maybe there's some versioning thing where it goes, oh, I'm just using the latest version of .NET, and there's something in that version that perhaps doesn't agree with the non-preview version of VS 2022. That's my theory, anyway. I haven't really looked into it in any sort of great amount of detail.
okay, so what are we gonna do about this? I mean, does it make sense if you, well, I don't want you to spin up a VS in a VM, that's for sure. I don't want you to, hi Sam.
Hey, Sam,
Why are
where
you
are you, Sam?
what what
At the
are you
office.
you're in the
Oh,
office,
that makes sense.
okay. What are you doing in the office? Working?
First day, go to office.
Yeah, but
After
working is
2 years,
optional. You didn't know that? I don't know why people miss that part in our
I think
contract.
it's okay.
Work is
I can remove
optional.
that. I just allow the office.
We already made it. We actually don't need to work. We just need to pretend.
Uh,
Okay, Sam Shu. Okay, Sam, do you have Visual Studio 2020 preview
Sam
installed?
must have the preview bits installed.
And .NET 7?
Don't understand one?
Yeah.
No.
What's the point then? Why would you got That's it.
Let's just
I'm
ask.
out. That's it. I can't. I tried. I worked hard. I created the stream. I created and then I can't. I remember I had this mentor who would say this to me. He would say, Hassan, I can teach it to you. I can't understand it for you.
I've actually got a mug that says that. It says, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. I love that.
Okay, it should take literally like 30 seconds to install .NET 7, but the problem is these gentlemen here, the fintech folks, their applications are breaking because of .NET 7. Rightfully so, because they're in fintech.
Oh, you know, I'm
Oh
wondering if
my
I can
god.
install the SDK and then do the coding in VS Code, because VS Code's like fairly, agnostic, right?
Yeah.
But
Which Visual Studio version are you using?
Visual Studio is 2022 preview, which is
Yeah,
17
version
point.
is 7.2.001,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Let me show you the one I have, and then we compare notes, and then
Do
we
I
do
need to install the .NET 7 runtime separately?
the SDK, not the runtime. The runtime is for the muggles, for the non-engineers, the people who don't know programming. We do SDKs, Sam.
you mean
We're
Paul?
Paul, yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was
He
uncalled
had to do it. Sorry,
for.
Paul. That was mandatory. I mean, we got to start the day. It's Monday morning. I mean, at least for us. Yeah, I have on the preview, I have preview 1.0.
Yeah.
Okay. And on the .NET realm, let me find my commander here. Do you guys use commander? Does anyone here use commander?
Yeah, use the command.
No, commander.
No.
The file explorer.
No, it's a command line that is really fancy. Let me show you.
Terminal.
Command line, commander. Anyone heard of this little lambda thing that
It
happens?
doesn't work in terminal.
No, it does, but I like the gangsta, like, you know what I mean? So .NET list SDKs. Yeah, there you go. This one has. What if I switch to?
You only install
Uh,
one?
no, I should have a lot more than that. .NET list
Okay.
SDKs.
Yes.
Oh, that's odd. How did that happen? I did not install anything. I know that. Let's open up the normal command line, I guess. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Here. .NET list SDKs. There you go.
That's weird.
Mm.
Okay.
I need to fix commander path. Something is up there. But anyway, this is what I have. Technically, we should have this 100 version.
Mm.
And I'm just like mostly today, I just wanted to see who's actually like committing to working on stuff. It's very obvious that, we're gonna have to drop a couple. But
Wow.
so, Paul, we need to have the conversation. I feel like our group is going in one direction that is not the direction that you're going. It's not you, it's me. In the history of the United States, there have been three great speeches ever made. JFK, all right, Martin Luther King, and the last three episodes on, this little show. What the the show where he goes and says, "With you, I feel like I can't be me, but with her, I can't be the guy who I'm supposed to be."
It's funny that it's funny that you mentioned MLK, because he came to, I wouldn't say criticisms, but it's funny, as time went on, it was like he talked a lot about, like, classes, right, and the poor,
Yeah,
and, like, distribution of wealth and whatnot.
treating people.
As
Yeah.
there was an interview on NBC. I have to pull it up somewhere, but it's an interview where he talks about, like, the biggest threats to equality, to across racial boundaries, across class boundaries, etc. I like a lot of his later stuff. I love I Have a Dream, but that was the inspirational part. What's the action items, right? And
Yeah.
that was, I found, incredibly interesting. Sorry.
But by the way, there are two things about us as human species that always blows my mind. You'll never see a mouse creating a trap for mice. That's never gonna happen. And you'll never see a herd of animals, you know, kind of caring that much if one of them is a little bit different in terms of, you know, color or shape or whatever. If you're a part of the herd, you're part of the herd. It doesn't matter, right? We're the only ones that do this nonsense, and you know, it's just weird. Anyway, okay, so here's what I want to do today, you guys. I want to show you two things. Do you remember that time when we wrote C# code to actually build pipelines for OData Neo? We're going to upgrade the version on that. So we're basically going to go and say, I want my pipeline to actually support .NET 7, right? So that means I'm going to stay away from the current branch that we're in temporarily. We're going to have to do a merge eventually. This will buy everyone here a little bit of time to kind of fix their .NET 7 issues. And Nick, have you met someone that says issues? I meet people that say issues all the time.
I
You know,
mean,
Paul, your
I
Nick
get
of the word.
massively triggered when I see a U in color or favor, you know. So
Do you know who used to say issues? Steve Carell in The Office. He would say issues.
Oh, Space Force Season 2 is back. Speaking of Steve Carell, I'm very happy to see him.
I know. Okay,
And
let's.
Sorry, can we just appreciate how finely that man has aged? Like, he looks phenomenal.
Yeah, he's
in that
good.
show.
I like Steve. Steve Carell is
Very
good.
funny guy.
The American version of The Office is the right version. There's no other version. He didn't get it.
Don't let Ricky Gervais hear you say that.
Look, he's not even here. He's trying to install .NET 7.
I don't know what the hell Sam's doing. Like,
Okay. So Sam is is sitting at our headquarters at Microsoft right now. So when you tell him install .NET 7, he's actually gonna get up and pull a tape, to actually install the original copy of .NET 7.
Oh my god!
He's not gonna go to a website and install it like you commoners.
Sam is getting a USB drive from like
He's
the
gonna
main
pull the
build
real
machine.
thing.
Have you seen the commercial from GitHub in regards to the CI/CD stuff that they do?
Oh yeah, the old time.
Yeah, I love that thing. I'm like, who came up with this? Like, it's done perfect. This is our tape drive.
Let me show you guys what Joe is talking about. It's actually hilarious here.
I'd love to see it. It sounds great.
It's relatively recent.
Yeah, I know. So let's see. ICD commercial. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Okay. Oh, YouTube corrected my GitHub to GitLab.
Ugh.
Really sad. Okay, let's see.
You're talking to a guy who I used to run, like when I was young, when I was like 24 or something, which is like ages ago. I used to have to run tape backups for the organization I work for.
Nice.
Physical tape.
I've been working IT my whole life. Yeah, physical tape. They look like little. Remember the old? I used to use the little ones, the bigger ones. Yep. Prior to that, they were like that. They.
You guys remember the floppy disk?
16. How do you know this?
The Bigfoot?
Exists?
Yeah.
I'm like 38ish. I don't know.
You're 38. You
Joe and I. Joe and I are around the same age. I was born 1985.
Zip drives, all that stuff.
While we're on the subject of age, my 47th birthday was yesterday.
How, brother? You blow my mind. Are you serious? You mean this?
I showed you my license. I put my license up in the Discord.
So I was sitting downstairs watching our session. This time, just sitting down with the kids, and I let that roll so I could just hear what I've been saying, And then I keep hearing you saying 47, and I'm like, wait a second,
baby.
Can you help me look young? I look like freaking, what's Gandalf from the. Every time I meet someone, they say, "Oh, you're 45, hands down." I'm like, dude, that's like 10 years. I have this buddy of mine.
They've had tools for cutting hair for a very long time. So it's
it
not really a difficult problem.
So let me tell you the story of my hair. Do you guys want to hear the story of my hair? Why my hair is super long and I never cut it off? I actually had a very dear friend, You know, I used to call him Awad, and he was my barber. Like I'd actually go consistently going to this person to cut my hair. And when he died, I vowed as a form of, you know, loyalty of friendship not to cut my hair ever again, ever.
Mhm.
You know, and that's why my hair is longer than you see. Like it's beyond the keyboard out there, right?
You should get
So
a barrette with his name on it.
I can make a recommendation.
yeah, it
Here's
could work. Yeah, I
Hassan,
guess.
I'll give you two legit recommendations. One,
Uh,
I don't know how much water you drink, but whatever it is, you probably need to drink more.
yes, I
Okay.
got this smart thing. This is a
Mhm.
smart bottle water. Let me tell you what I did. This is a smart water bottle, right? What it does is that I bought like 7 of them for 7 of my friends, and I said, "Hey, let's connect to the app and keep each other on the water consumption." Right? And I couldn't
Mhm.
keep up with them. I just forget. I forget to eat and I forget to drink, you
Yeah.
know, water. And yeah, I mean,
The
I
other
mm,
is get a skincare routine. And it sounds like a lot of men don't do this. In the morning, a moisturizer, like something with SPF. At night, toner, uh, under eye cream, what do you call it? Moisturizer and serum. Like you can do all this fairly cheaply. I'll give product recommendations. I got
give
really
me
basic
product
ones, but
recommendations and I'll do it.
He's
all
If
gonna
right,
it'll
open
I'll
up
do
a
make
it in
me
the
consulting
Discord.
firm.
if it will make me look like you in my 47th, like how? That doesn't
I
make
mean,
any.
like, listen, there's a bunch of other things. Like, I used
Am
to
I
be
in?
50 pounds heavier. I lost a bunch of weight. I
Am
go
I in
to
the
the
right
gym
stream
regularly. I
here?
power lift, stuff like that.
Oh, you go to the gym too.
Oh,
That
I
you take
power
care of
lift.
yourself.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're
I
yeah.
have like a, I mean, I'm not, I mean, I'm 5'6". I'm 190, right? But I have like a 405 deadlift, a 315 squat, a 245 bench.
So you can't say one. So you can't say 190. You have to say 5 stones. So Paul would understand
Yeah,
what you're
whatever.
saying.
How many stones is 190 pounds?
Paul, how many stones is 190 pounds? People like we don't use these freedom metrics. Anyway,
That's
okay. Paul, what were you going to say? You were going to say something, and then how old are you, Paul? By the way, just out of curiosity.
40, 41?
41.
Yeah, and 190 pounds is 13 and a half stone, by the way.
Yikes. So we have to stone him 13 times.
And a half.
Jesus.
So one of them you got to pick up and throw again.
Is that the half?
Yeah.
No, Joe. The half would be like this. Like you don't really throw it.
Like
You
a
just go like.
lob.
"Ah."
Psych him out.
All right.
I just wanted to ask if I was in the right chat here. I've clearly joined like some women's commune where you want to share
Ooh,
product knowledge, but
ooh,
I thought
ooh.
this was a programming thing.
I don't do any of that.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
God.
but Joe, the other thing about Joe, when Joe first joined, I thought he was 20 something. This sucker, I don't know what he's doing either. He's doing nothing, but I guess it's just the environment, less stress. You know, I can see you're a little bit more relaxed than I can ever be, Joe, and I appreciate that about you. I really do. But yeah, maybe I'll do this, Nick. We'll see. You know,
Yeah, all you got to do is just not get stressed.
Yeah.
When
yeah,
it comes on, just say I'm not stressed anymore. It's fine.
Oh,
yeah.
it's dead easy. Like if everyone
Yeah,
took
yeah.
that advice, the world would just not be. Hey, Putin, just calm down, mate. All right, just get
Yeah,
less stressed.
just take a
right?
breather,
You'll be
man.
Fine.
Just
Fine,
take a
yeah.
breather.
I like how that most of this war in Ukraine, like most of the technology work and support is just happening by Elon Musk. He's like, hey guys, don't turn on the signal. You're gonna be targeted. Hey guys, I'm like a software engineer. It's engaged in war actively. You know, he literally said, I'm gonna slow down SpaceX and Starlink, and I'm gonna focus all my efforts on Ukraine at this point in time. How crazy is that? That's pretty crazy.
It's very
That's
much a
pretty crazy.
programmer thing. Like, oh, here's the next thing that needs
Yep.
to be like,
Yep.
screw
Let's
everything
stop
else.
everything and let's do the
Go
new
do that
thing.
thing.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, you guys. I'm gonna go and go and go, and I'm gonna open up OData Neo and my Visual Studio 2022 preview. So here's the good thing. Even if it's not working for you, it doesn't matter because the branch that we're in right now, we won't worry about merging with master until we're actually ready to merge. So I'm not going to block you for that. But I have to keep OData Neo and I have to keep everything up to date for two reasons. Why are we upgrading? Why the heck are we upgrading? We'd like to use C#11. We would like to use the latest and greatest features. I love shiny things, and I don't think there's anything wrong. I think an engineer begging to use the latest technology is the saddest thing in the world. That just psychologically just breaks their heart. Why would you break an engineer's heart? If an engineer's heart is broken, your code heart is going to be broken. Don't break your own code's heart. That's going to be sad. So, okay, let me share my screen here real quick, and let me go to town on this one. Here we go. So, okay, this is the master branch. I'm just gonna go, our main branch. I'm gonna go here and say users, Hassan, Habib, config upgrade to .NET 7. You guys should see, I did a session the other day to upgrade an entire, large platform that I have to
No, I
.NET
haven't.
7. You haven't seen it, right? Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it stopped at the entity framework because you need to keep up with all of these different libraries. And yeah, DLL hell. Do you remember that, Nick? DLL
Oh
hell. Do you
God.
remember that?
Yes, I do.
It's a little flavor of that. I mean, we got out of that. It used to be a unbearable, irreparable damage that you would
Back
do.
before package managers.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
The-
it is really because of COM, right? I mean, COM was the biggest example because COM,
yeah.
you had to register the implementations and the location of those implementations in the registry. So you only had one. So for a particular interface, if you change what the implementation of that was, it was like that was it was a goddamn mess, right?
Yeah.
Now that we have .NET and you have local it's not so much package managers more as much as it is like you have a local assembly store. Now, the GAC did introduce its own flavor of DLL
Mhm,
hell, but
mhm.
that's a bygone product now. .NET Core is
Yeah,
all about
GAC is over,
this is
man.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's like here's your directory. This is where your shit is. That's it. If it's out beyond it, that's your own thing. That's your problem. But we're isolating it.
Sam, why did we do this GAC thing? I should ask I should ask Torgerson Mads. I should do a podcast with him soon and I'll ask him, what do you think about GAC, Mads? It'd be
It
like,
may have been started for interoperability.
because of C++ and Windows.
Just to have it
If I-
available
You would-
system wide.
Well, you would
If
need
I-
that for COM interop.
If
Yeah.
I recall, when they originally introduced it, Java was well known for suffering DLL hell. I don't know if you guys have heard that expression, but
Java?
essentially the whole reason behind .NET having the GAC was that you had a single version, essentially, that was your kind of considered to be the standard system version of the core libraries. Obviously, over time, it's become apparent that that's just not feasible in for many reasons, and that applications do need different versions of various dependencies. So it's a thing, isn't it?
Well, the GAC was versioned.
Yeah, well,
Was it?
Yeah,
I believe,
it
you
does
could have different versions of the same assembly. You just couldn't have like variations of those versions, which is where you get into your DLL, the random fix that fixes this one thing, but it breaks another product. You can't have it globally accessible.
Yeah.
That's where you run into your issues.
Yeah. Anyway, for the people watching us who are a little bit younger, GAC is Global Assembly Cache, and it's something that people used to use back in the ye olden days, where you run a desktop application and it goes and points, or even a server application, an IIS, and it will just point to the one single point of truth for these libraries. It was quite horrendous, honestly. But that's the thing about our that's the thing about .NET. It went through so many different mutations, and I believe we're still not there yet. Like dynamic programming, still not there yet, but I think we're making good progress there. I really appreciate that the .NET team is doing on that, and the Visual Studio team, and the Azure team, and the GitHub
We're
team.
going to end up being like where we'll have like say a full Python. Like there's Iron Python years.
Do you remember
ago.
Iron Python? They
We
stopped supporting it, unfortunately, but yeah.
But
go
do you
ahead,
think we'll start seeing that where they're going to start expanding language support, and because there was the dynamic work. Now, I don't mean the dynamic language feature. There's like a dynamic runtime work that was done years ago, which is still in there, if I remember correctly. The question becomes whether or not that's going to be leveraged for things like, say, JavaScript interpretation or Python interpretation or Julia interpretation or whatever, right? To take advantage of .NET runtime features.
I believe I recall when they made that, there was docs for introducing that interoperability with other dynamic languages. I don't think anyone's jumped on board with it, or if it's out of date at this point. But I do recall that there was some guidance for that.
Yeah.
There should be a point in time where, you know, as far as I know, there should be a point in time where, you know, you shouldn't have to worry about the programming language you're working with. That's for sure. And you know, I mean, C# today does everything. It really does. But still, in terms of performance, you want to basically, you know, work with something that is, you know, more cut out for data processing, for instance, you know, an F# or a Scala or, you know, R. Have any one of you played with R before? R programming language?
I've written a few Hello Worlds. That's about it.
It's for data analysis, right?
Yeah, data analysis, and yeah, I'm gonna try to bring on my channel. She's a very smart and sweet. She's very kind software engineer. Her name is Danielle, and she's gonna teach me Azure Synapse. You know, I'm gonna tell her, hey, teach me shit. You know, tell me how. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, we're gonna be.
Wait, are you saying we can sit here and watch your ineptitude on full display?
Yes,
let's do it.
Sign me up.
I can sit and listen. I can finally be in the student seat and listen to what people have to say. I actually do learn from all of you all the time, but I have
You're
my
in the
way of.
student seat 3 days a week on this.
Yes, that's right, Paul. The proof is that I'm the one upgrading .NET 7 while you're still crying about your Razor pages.
Hey, I got it working.
He's having dependency injection issues.
I thought it was a valid question, that dependency injection thing.
Hassan, you haven't made this fluent yet?
Oh, not yet. Oh man, there's a lot of work for us to do. I kind of spent my weekend kind of upgrading the exception library. You guys haven't tried it yet, but you know, I kind of this is my breakthrough to distinguish between two exact same exceptions coming from two different dependencies. And someone had to do it, so I just did it. Okay, here's a PR config upgrade to .NET 7. Okay, let's go. Here is a PR. Sam, would you be so, you know, sweet and kind to review my pull request and hit the button on it if you may, and then we can go back to Paul and have him do some work for us today.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Hey, Paul, you're it. Here's create and pull request, and here's my pull request. Okay, so this is what did I just do? I just upgraded everything to .NET 7, right? Including our pipeline through C# code. So now, you know, Sam, take a look. Let me know if you see anything weird. What is this? Oh, we have the license CELA stuff installed in our nice. So just so you guys know, this guy here, do you see that little guy in here? This guy is our legal team. CLA is, you know, it's CELA. Probably should throw an E in there. And what it basically does is that it checks whether we are pulling in third-party libraries that are not consumable in an open source space by Microsoft.
Oh, nice.
So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is how we protect ourselves automatically as a community from. There is this guy that started recently adding licenses to his repos. I really appreciate that they're doing that. And the license basically is that, you know, if you are a supporter of Russia in any way, don't use my software. He's just leaving it in there. Yeah.
Nice.
There are also people that you'll see some people putting something in there that say, if you work at Microsoft, don't use my software.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that hurts a little. But you know, that's the sitch. Okay, now let's just see if our build is actually gonna pick up the .NET 7 It looks like it's doing well. Let's see. Check out OData Neo. And so Sam, you're good with the PR. No problem there, right? The one thing for the life of me that I never would understand, you'll see Amazon and Google and Oracle stuff in here. I don't know, whether they have these things installed out of the box. So if you're building something, we just give you this outside of the box. I don't know.
It's probably
But
part of the image.
yeah, there it is. AWS CLI V2. You'll see that in here.
Yeah, I mean, Chocolaty's on there.
And chocolate, and there is AWS Edge driver. You'll see GitHub CLI, Service Fabric, Chocolate,
Yeah,
and
that's a Windows package manager.
yeah, Perl, right? ODBC. There's your Oracle. So you have everything: Docker, WebEM, Azure, Kotlin, right? Scripts. Do you guys know the difference? Speaking of scripts, do you know the difference between yeah,
Sorry.
The timing was impeccable.
That's a great timing. Joe and his dogs. Do you know the difference between JScript and JavaScript without Googling it?
JScript was the Microsoft flavor.
That's right.
Right? That was,
That's
and
right.
it was alongside VB script. They were both for
Yep.
active server pages. No
Yep.
.NET, just
Yep.
ASP.
Yep. Yep.
But it wasn't a client-side framework, was it?
It was.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, JScript is Microsoft JavaScript. Just like how we tried to do J#, and then Sun Microsystem threw a hissy fit, and they were like, "Oh, okay, we gotta build C# then." All right, so the pipeline is working just fine as I expected, and I'm gonna merge that in. And then let's go back to our original. So you don't have to have .NET 7 installed to work on the current PR, but moving forward, once we merge that tokenization service, you're gonna need to have that figured out. Please do. It's really important. Okay, so let's just see where we're at. Joe, can you share your screen real quick? Whatever you have going on.
Yeah, sure. Let me.
If you want, if you don't want to. Then.
Yeah, I can. I usually go through a process if I know I'm presenting.
Okay.
Do you need to replace the work developer branch to the main branch?
Yeah, there's no developer branch. You just create a branch and then you merge right straight into the main branch. Okay. There's no. It's like a wave.
We have the Hassan user Hassan / the foundation branch.
Oh right? Yeah, that guy's still there. I didn't merge that guy yet.
Do we need to replace that branch to the main branch? No.
We will merge with the main before we. Yeah, at some point in time we'll do a merge, but not now because people obviously. Paul kind of dropped the ball on the .NET 7 thing, so there's nothing we can do here.
Paul.
Yeah. It's always Paul.
Paul, it's easy, just one click to install the .NET 7.
Yeah, that's you'd think that, Sam, but you're a smart guy, Paul.
No, because I'm in the Microsoft Internet, I can download.
Yep, you get the tape. I love you, Sam. You're awesome. You're awesome. Paul, though. So, Paul, do you want to do stuff with us today? I feel like you're disengaged, not willing to. Paul just turned on the camera and be like, "I'll do work," and just completely ignore Hassan today.
Pretty much. Just leaving you to berate me in the background while I finish up my day's work,
All right. Let me know when you're ready, Shooty McStampy.
I'm good now.
Okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So go back to our branch, which is the
tokenization.
The tokenization, right? So what changes do you have there?
None. They're gone.
Revert all of that nonsense. Oh, you were upgrading to .NET.
Oh yeah, I was just testing it when you guys were complaining the other day. I was like, it seems to work fine.
Okay, so let's take a look at our tests real quick and see where we are. I remember the last time Sam and I had to remove the dot, the period, and then we gave Paul a little pull latest. I think you have a third one.
Yeah, let me pull latest. Yeah, jumping around too much.
Hey Nick,
what's up?
How are you?
Not bad.
Okay.
Can't complain. I'm like flipping between three things right. I don't know if you recall, like that passion project thing I told you about. We released it to the general public
I saw
yesterday.
the Twitter
And that was like, so there's been a lot of positive feedback. I'm grateful for it. But now people are interested, so I'm like, oh, I answer all the things, right? So.
But what does it do? Does it like make
It's
people? Is it a fintech thing?
No, it's for video games.
Oh, okay. If that's
Right.
the case, then it's useful.
Actually,
It
what's
shows
interesting
it shows
is
stats
that,
and stuff, right?
yeah, it's stats.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Microsoft acquired Smash GG, which is where we get the majority. So Smash GG started off as a bracket system primarily for Smash, like Melee Brothers, like Melee, whatever.
Melee.
And then the fighting game community kind of adopted it, and then it gained more notoriety in other spaces, but it's primarily around Smash and the fighting game community. And then Microsoft acquired it. There was like rumors around their fiscal solvency for a while, but then, like I said, Microsoft stepped in. But you can see where Microsoft is going with this, right? Because they, with Xbox, with Smash GG, like they clearly see something going on, and they're trying to build their ecosystem around that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Shooty, Joe, can you go to the preview of last commits? And that's how we're gonna tell who's next.
Preview of last commits.
Oh, your Visual Studio doesn't have that little. Oh, your screen. Just maximize your screen. Just click maximize. Maximize.
Alt Shift X.
Yeah. Do you see that 0/0 at the very bottom? Oh, you're already here. Yeah, perfect. So I wrote that failing test. So should tokenize query. So it was Paul that was supposed to make that test pass, right, Paul?
Yeah, I solved that 2 minutes after the stream ended. You cut me off just to make me look bad.
You're supposed to write the passing in front of everybody. So let's go back to Paul. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. Paul, share your screen. Let's do the do. Let's do the do.
Did you upgrade it?
Not that branch. Not that branch.
In that branch. Okay.
Not in that branch. The main branch now is up to date. .NET 7. The usual, stuff. Okay, Paul, do you know how to share the screen?
Nope.
Okay, so Paul, do you want to zoom in a little and tell us? You can't see, bro. Why do you have to be So, okay, so in here you're saying the case where it could be anything else. You're basically saying try parse int. That's the shittiest solution I've ever seen. Okay, never mind. Okay, so try parse.
Test pass.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Make it red, make it green, and then refactor. I agree with that. So you're basically saying try parse number.
This whole thing needs to be checked out, right? Because this is horrible. So I figured I'll just add more horrible onto the horrible.
Not fully chucked out though. Chucked out. I had this friend of mine. She used to say chuck an exception. She wouldn't say throw an exception. Chuck an exception. I'd be like, that's amazing. I love it. Chuck exceptions. Okay, so try parse. You're trying to parse the number. And if the parsing is successful, then create this. And if the parsing, then why do you need the out? Why don't you put underscore next to the out? Just put underscore there. Instead of number, just put underscore.
Yeah, it's a discard.
Yeah. And I don't think you might not even need the int. Take away the int.
Because it can infer the type, yeah.
Can we throw the out as well?
No, it's a method parameter. Yeah.
So out.
It's just like in ref. You can't leave out.
Okay, let's get it from Paul right now. Paul, did you learn something new today?
I love how you're trying to improve this clearly bad code like it matters.
Well, I'm trying to get an opportunity to teach people something new. Just think about it, glass half full kind of perspective. Like find a pile of shit and try to find something useful in it.
I mean, okay. we can tack on a few more ternaries. Keep the ball rolling. I'm serious.
What was it they say about polishing a turd?
Make it real smooth.
So Sam, what Paul is doing
Mm-hmm.
here, he's trying to kind of, make this, if it's a number, now
Mm-hmm.
that's how he's detecting a number. So let me tell you something, Paul. Why don't you instead of actually give me that code. Give me that code. Let's go, man. Ain't nothing but a thing. One sky man. Let's put that nice code on the white fire grip people call the internet. Let's go. Let's go.
You got it. There we go.
Let's go.
Who thought the information on the internet would last forever?
Oh.
What happened? Did we break the thing? Yep. Who would thought the information on the internet would last forever?
Yeah, like when you were younger, you're like, it's out there, it's gonna be there forever.
Dude,
Stuff's disappearing all the time.
Dude, I have a website that I published like in 2001 and it's still out there.
Good for you.
And also the time machine, Joe. The time machine.
Oh, I use that all the time because half the stuff I want's not there anymore.
Everyone knows that all backups are pointless because if you want a copy of your data, you just go and ask the NSA.
I may or may not agree with Paul's statement. I am neutral. I am not.
They may not be able to read it, but they have it.
They may claim they can't read it, but they have it.
My God, you guys, you're gonna get us in trouble.
It looks. This session is a crosstalk.
Yeah, it's crosstalk. We're actually we're at this point where we're not actually talking about OData. We're doing work about OData, but we're not talking about OData. Sounds like so Sam, do you remember Kailu? Kailu who?
Kailu, yes.
This guy, if you see our pairing session, if you don't see the screen, you'd think we're just sitting outside, just drinking a beverage and chatting. When actually, in reality, like our fingers, we're writing code, we're on the keyboard, but we're talking about something completely different. Completely different. So let's say, was it foundations or foundation? Let's see. So sync. Let's see. Give me a sec. So I'm gonna make Paul's code a little bit better.
How dare you?
No, Paul's code is best.
It's best. You think it's the best? Is that what you think, Sam? Okay. If Sam thinks so, then Paul, is your branch the foundation or foundations?
I think you should guess.
Come on, man. Yeah, it's I didn't know Visual Studio actually gives you the date on the latest time the branch was updated. That's pretty cool.
It uses Hassan Habib foundation hyphen tokenization.
Do you guys see that little tooltip that comes out? It tells you the last time the branch was updated. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
So you learned something, right?
Yeah, for myself. For myself, Paul. Okay, let's make Paul's code a little bit better. Let's see. Paul, here's how you do things properly, son. I don't know about you, but let me just show you. So you see that little thing that you did in here?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you just do this, bro? Like you could go and say, you can do this and you could do win, right? And you could go and say, I want to check if this is a number. There's actually something that's called int.isDigit or something like that. You guys remember? There's a function that's
it's car.
The digit is for car though. It doesn't work on multiple things, right? Okay, fine. You could go here and say .try parse, right? Raw query, and I don't care about this guy. And when this is true, then I can go and do the next thing and treat this as a number. I need out still. So this would look like this. I don't know if you guys can see the code, if it's bigger enough or
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, and in that case, you can go and say, oh, then well, in that case, without hurting the integrity of your existing flow, you can still go and say, hey, I want to pull that guy back in here like this. And then I can do the next thing. What is this OData parameter? We can go here and say, unless there's a new case, then the next person is responsible for making the new case pass for themselves. And I'm going to take this here and I'm going to put that like this. And I'm going to pull these guys back like this. And here is Paul's code down the drain. And here's my code takes over. And now you're still consistent with these rules that you're putting in there.
You know why that's totally not better, right? Because the next step is not going to involve nested ternaries, which would totally make this code even better.
We can still do that.
I'm at this place where like I'm wondering. There is this button here that says kick Paul out of the session.
Sorry, I'm sure somebody declared last week it was impossible to make you not like him. Or was it the other way around?
Yeah, there was I think there's money on it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
There was money on this? Yeah.
No, it's like a Deadpool.
Okay, so we fixed this problem. Let's move forward, you guys. I'm gonna put a code rub here. Code rub fix, conditional for int parse. I would say Paul, but if I wasn't a nice guy. Okay, so let's go back to the actual thing here real quick. So because we have 10 minutes, I'm gonna throw a test and then
Do you know about get blame?
Get blame. Yes.
That's what it's there for.
That's what get blame is for. Okay, so we did the special tokens and the operand tokens, but we didn't add anything from there. That's the only thing. We did also the complex tokens. Okay, let's take it to the next level. What was the next complex token that you were talking about, Paul? Let's see. OData.
More numbers with decimal places.
Oh my God! Look at all these things that you did. Operand, open bracket. See, the problem that I'm trying to convince him is that not to add new enums unless there is a test to support, and he insists on adding all of them at once. That's just a mindset. That's 1995. I'm writing in Java. I have to go in the dark for 6 months and then come back out and deliver crappy software.
Don't remove anything we're not using yet.
Yes. So what's the next one?
There's nothing in there that we're not using. We're using it all now in our tests.
What's Word, Paul? Did we use Word before, you guys? Let's see. Word? No, we didn't. Word. Okay.
Oh yeah, we took those out because a word was basically same as OData parameter but without the dollar.
And we need that, right? We need to be able to distinguish that as a token. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
based on what Sam said, is the dollar or the dollar signs in there for backwards compatibility.
Oh, so it's not really okay, sounds
right,
good.
Sam?
Yeah.
Let's go with the GUID. I'm gonna make it easy. So here's a GUID.
Are we supporting backwards compatibility? Do we care if they're different, or do we just not care? I don't think we should care.
But I'll tell you this. It's yes and no. We don't care about backwards compatibility, but we want to allow people to plug in components that support backwards compatibility. So
no, but we don't need to differentiate because it still
we don't
falls in line. Yeah.
Yes, we don't. Okay, here's a failing test. Here we go.
My turn.
Sam, do you wanna make this work?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you this one. This one will be very easy thanks to Paul. He, it can only get better from here. So let's go. Here we go. Fail. Let's go. Here we go. Sam, you're it.
Okay. Let me share my screen.
Let's see how many tests we can jam in before we call it off. Where is Sam's screen? Sam.
Hold on.
Okay. So I'm sick and tired of my shit. Like, sick and tired of this guy.
Windows. Yes. Visual Studio sharing.
Okay, let's go, Sam. All right. I lost you. Share again. And try not to share your Outlook, please, this time. Just throw it. I'm gonna throw that in there. We didn't need to know about the next 5 years at Microsoft in terms of identity team. Especially Paul doesn't need to be exposed to that. Especially Paul Wardy. I can't see your screen, man. You didn't share it yet.
No, my Visual Studio is not respond. I have to restart the Visual Studio. Give me.
Okay.
Today is my first day at office, so everything is new. I have to reset the environment.
I thought they gave you the Surface thing. Or do you have a tower machine, Sam?
No.
You don't have a tower? You're gonna have to be that tall to get a tower machine. I have a tower machine, surface, and a saw machine. Do you have a saw machine, Sam? Did they give you a saw machine?
I have saw machine.
Nice. Does it work?
Curious, is at Microsoft, is all your work on local machines?
Well, the saw machines, are different, but yeah, you could say that.
The reason I asked is because where I work, we probably prior to COVID, we had migrated to pure VDIs, like all of our desktops and everything in the cloud, and it was a master stroke because once when COVID hit, which no one knew was going to happen, but when it hit, and everything turned instantly. The next day, the full organization was up and running. Right, no one lost anything. We just kept going. I get there's pros and cons, right? To in the cloud versus local and whatnot. I mean, if you got to render some piece of video or something, with a bazillion, I get it, right? Like I get having that local processing power. For what I'm doing, listen, I'm a dumbass fintech engineer, right? Like, I don't need power for that.
I heard Amazon does that. You do the virtual machine dummy terminal thing. Just things people say.
Who let me install Connect 7?
You're not able to run your machine? Okay.
It's very
okay,
slow.
Sam.
It's okay. I open the Visual Studio now.
So while Sam is doing this, who wants to go next and finish the rest of the tokens by themselves?
I say Paul does it.
My turn.
Okay, Sam,
Sam,
you're gonna need to write a bunch of you're gonna add all the new other tokens and leave it as failed, and someone else, and just let people know in the channel, and they will do the pass because this is obvious. I don't need to record that part. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go here. Okay, here we go. Sam, zoom in a little bit.
Hold on.
Do you have the latest branch, brother?
Yeah, it's very slow. I don't know.
He loves the bright theme. He loves it. It's like a part of his system that he survives with, and he's glitching, and he's being throttled through the Microsoft Corp net. It's a foundation, brother. Hassan Habib /foundation tokenization. You're in the right one. You just need to get up to date.
It's porting changes from current.
Yeah, you should have a failing test, and your screen is completely frozen. Sam's network is a little.
It wasn't completely frozen. There, down in the bottom left, it says what it's doing.
Oh, it was actually doing something. Okay.
I have everything. So zoom in.
Okay, can you guys see? Because on my side, 1 second, Sam. It's a little slow. Yeah, I think so. I think zoom in a little bit more. Go 250 or something.
I don't know. Check.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Have you guys installed the extension that gives you presentation mode?
Oh, is that an extension or is it outside of the box?
I think it's Mad's Power Tools.
Oh, okay.
Might be. Let me double check before I get too far. But it basically gives you a whole different set of settings. Once you go into presentation mode, you can adjust the text of the toolbars and everything. So I started messing with it, but I don't have it set up right.
Yeah, we just want to check for the GUID, man. You're doing it fine. Yep, keep going.
Try pass.
There's a try. So okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, see, pretty straightforward. So what we're gonna do is that whoever wants, what I call offline session is that, we could, whenever someone is available, we could finish the rest of those. I don't need to record that one because that one is very straightforward. And then once we're done with the single token, now we need to gather again, hopefully on Wednesday, and go and say, okay, guys, now we want to, find and replace across multiple array of things, what would that look like? Okay, Sam, this should make it pass, I think.
Really slow. You can see.
I hate this. This is slow.
It was fast, but I installed the .NET.
.NET 7 did this to you. .NET 7. .NET 7.
.NET 7 runs fast. Everything else runs slow.
He talks like that because the session is. He talks like that because the session is almost over and he didn't have to write code and we didn't have to call him out on it. That's why.
It's always Wednesday.
Okay, why the test is failing? Did I forget something?
It's a failing. I think it's the first run.
Oh, okay.
Now it should be passed.
Okay, here we go, Sam. Test-driven development, TDD, pair programming. Let's do it. This is more than pair programming. What do we call this, Nick?
Mob programming.
Mob programming. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, they do this at like conventions and stuff too. They just put it up on the board and everyone screams.
Yep. Okay, Sam, make it, put the test name there, thin arrow, pass. And then whoever wants to hang out with me, later today or tomorrow, we can finish the rest of it. This doesn't need to be, on air. What we basically want to do, we want to do the rest of all these different types that Paul put in there, and then we're going to start kind of doing multiple tokens at the same time. Again, we're not going to worry about the conventions. Like if a token is not technically supposed to come before another token, that's not our business. We're just tokenizing. That's all. And that would, we could probably wrap up this tokenization service like before the end of this week. All right, Sam.
Okay.
Done. Donezo.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. So you're gonna have to write a failing test, right? I'll let you write that one. You can take that on your own time. That's not a problem.
Okay.
But for the rest of you, let's connect Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have more on this done by then. And thank you all for coming in today. For people watching, subscribe, hit that like button, and block Paul on Discord. Talk to you later. Take care. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.